Good evening. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Formula One will race in Bahrain until 2036. National Action Charter Anniversary Parade scheduled on Monday. UAE and Kuwait warned citizens from traveling to Ukraine. Saudi final exit visas extended till February 14. UK lifts all testing requirements for vaccinated travelers.
News in detail. Formula One will race in Bahrain until 2036. The Bahrain Grand Prix will remain on the Formula One calendar until at least 2036, F1's chief executive said yesterday. Formula One and Bahrain have signed a landmark deal extending F1 in the kingdom by a further 10 years, he said. The incredible facilities at the circuit for both the racing and for the fans have recently undergone further investment, ensuring it remains state-of-the-art and offers the best fan experience. Alongside this, the promoter has already announced significant measures to increase the environmental sustainability of the event. National Action Charter Anniversary Parade scheduled on Monday. As part of the National Action Charter Anniversary celebrations, the Ministry of Interior is holding a parade in the capital governorate from Bab al Bahrain to Isa Al Kabir Road up to the police fort on Monday, 14th February 2022 at 3 p.m. Citizens, residents and visitors are invited to come and watch and enjoy the parade whilst following the precautionary measures of the National Medical Task Force for combating the coronavirus. Bahrain attends Arab Economic and Social Council session on behalf of the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, Bahrain's ambassador to Egypt and permanent representative to the League of Arab States, Hisham bin Mohammed Al Jawdar, headed the kingdom's delegation to the 109th session of the Arab Economic and Social Council at the Arab League General Secretariat in Cairo. The session was briefed about the Arab League Secretary General's report on the Council's activities and continuous efforts to contain the COVID-19 pandemic and its economic, social, and humanitarian repercussions. The report also shed light on efforts to build post-pandemic recovery paths, implement the social dimensions of the 2030 Sustainable Development Plan, and focus on supporting vulnerable groups in society. Bahrain rises on FIFA World Ranking. Bahrain has improved 2 spots to 89th on the FIFA World Ranking. The latest edition of the global classification of senior men's national football teams was released yesterday by the Sports International Governing Body, FIFA. The Bahrainis earned an additional 11.42 ranking points to improve to a 1,263.61 total. The nations are now 12th best in the Asian Football Confederation, but only 5th amongst the 6 GCC teams. Belgium is the top-ranked team in the world. They are followed in the top 10 by Brazil, France, Argentina, England, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, and the Netherlands. Permanent mission to the UN in New York marks Bahrain's Sports Day. In line with the decision of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the support of the representative of His Majesty, the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and the follow-up of the first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to allocate February 10, 2022 as Bahrain Sports Day. The permanent mission of the Kingdom of Bahrain to the United Nations in New York held an event on this occasion. The event reflects the interest and keenness of the kingdom to activate the role of sports in order to achieve the goals of sustainable development. The permanent representative of the Kingdom of Bahrain, Ambassador Jamal Faris Al Ruwai, and the permanent missions affiliates participated in the event, which included walking and cycling in downtown New York. Food violations increased 5 times more in comparison with the last 3 years. Food and restaurant health violations referred to the public prosecution have risen 5-fold over the last 3 years. A total of 184 cases were registered last year, compared with 37 in 2019 and 62 in 2020, Health Minister Faika Al-Saleh said. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
UAE and Kuwait warned citizens from traveling to Ukraine. The United Arab Emirates on Saturday has warned citizens from traveling to Ukraine, and Kuwait called on its nationals to depart the country amid heightened tensions between Kyiv and Moscow. Kuwait's foreign ministry also said citizens should postpone any plans to visit Ukraine. Now we will be back after a very short break. Welcome back. Saudi final exit visa is extended until February 14. Saudi Arabia has started to extend the validity of the final exit visas, which expired from December 9, 2021 to February 7, 2022 for Moroccan residents until February 14, 2022. This extension comes within the framework of the continuous efforts taken by Saudi Arabia's government to deal with the implications of the global pandemic. The extension will be electronically carried out in cooperation with the National Information Center without the need to visit the departments of passports or the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's missions abroad. Kuwait extends grace period for business visa holders. Kuwait has extended a grace period allowing arrivals on entry business visas to obtain work permits. The grace period has been extended till March 31. The extension applies to such visas issued before November 24, 2021. The decision was announced within directives of a ministerial committee tackling COVID-19 emergencies. Saudi Pavilion at Expo 2020 celebrates Arabian Leopard Day. Saudi Arabia's Pavilion at Expo 2020 Dubai shed light on the risks facing the Arabian leopard, one of the endangered species. The pavilion highlighted the kingdom's plans to preserve nature, especially endangered animals, as a wealth that must be preserved as part of the pavilion's celebration of the Arabian Leopard Day, which coincides on February 10th of each year to reflect the importance of the steps taken by the kingdom to consolidate the principles of environmental conservation. Death toll from Cyclone Batsirai in Madagascar rises to 120, state agency told. The death toll from Cyclone Batsirai in Madagascar jumped to 120 on Friday from 92 reported earlier this week. The State Disaster Relief Agency said the cyclone hit the Indian Ocean island late on Saturday, slamming the southeastern coastline before receding late on Sunday, Reuters reported. The disaster relief agency said that of the deaths, 87 had occurred in one area, the Ikongo district in southeast Madagascar. It said earlier this week it was still collecting details about what had happened in Ikongo. The latest update raises the death toll from 111 reported free earlier on Friday. The agency said the cyclone had left just over 124,000 people with their homes damaged or destroyed and some 30,000 more displaced and camping at 108 sites. UK lifts all testing requirements for vaccinated travellers. Vaccinated travellers can enter Britain without taking any coronavirus tests starting Friday after the government scrapped one of the final restrictions imposed over the past 2 years in response to COVID-19, the Associated Press reported. British residents and visitors who have had at least 2 doses of an approved coronavirus vaccine now only need to fill out a passenger locator form before travelling to the UK. Unvaccinated people still have to take tests both before and after arriving, but no longer need to self-isolate until they get a negative result. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I'm Vinod Narayan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.